Hi everyone, welcome to my Drugstore under eye concealer battle. So at the minute the plan is to do around 5 or 6 different Drugstore concealers, pit them against each other, do a review video for each individual one, and at the end a compare and contrast. So if you're watching this, it's one in a series. I will put it in a playlist for you so you can easily find the others, and they're on my channel as well. So if you're not already subscribed, then please subscribe so that you can see all the other videos. And if you're clicking on this, I imagine it's because you're thinking of buying this particular Drugstore concealer, and if so, hopefully this will be helpful to you. Now I'm going to keep the variants the same so that the test is fair, and for that I'm going to be using L'Oreal Revitalift Eye Cream under my eyes. I'm not going to be using a primer because I want to be able to give you an idea of how the concealer works with no primer. I'm not going to use a corrector either, but I am going to set each concealer, with the Real Techniques Duo Fibre Contour Brush and a Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I personally use Pink Blossom, but you know, any powder would be fine to set under the eyes. And then I've got an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush and my finger, which I'll be using to apply the product. So I'll get straight into the first one for you. Well, actually, I'm going to use the same intro on all of the videos, so it might not be the first one, but I'm going to get straight into the video. See you at the end. Bye! And I have mine in shade 101. It's rubbed off quite a lot. It's basically the lightest shade, which is what I always get. And the packaging is like a doe foot applicator and a little tube. So it's similar in that regard to the Maybelline Fit Me or, you know, NARS Creamy Concealer, though I've never tried the NARS one. And just to keep the variants the same, I'll just use exactly the same concealer brush. And again, what I'm going to do is just use this as both a concealer and a primer for eyeshadow. Now I don't have particularly oily lids. My eyeshadow does last better when I wear a primer, an eyeshadow primer, but for your average length day, it doesn't really need to be more than this, to be honest. So it's a very creamy consistency. It's not drying at all. I feel like it's brightening as well as concealing. It doesn't give me as much coverage as I would like, but I think that could be improved, mind the cat, improved with a corrector rather than necessarily more coverage. I like the colour of this. It's quite warm, but it's a lovely colour. And yeah, I would say this is one of my favourites. I didn't buy it for so long, and I wasn't convinced because I had some bad experiences with a 17 foundation years and years ago in a similar packaging. I suppose it sort of put me off this, which is silly really, isn't it, because they're completely different. But for this I just didn't get it for so long, especially because the Wake Me Up foundation is not a particularly full coverage. It's sort of a medium coverage, so I didn't expect the concealer to be that good. Now I can see it's starting to settle, but only in the sense of, you know, I've not set it. So I'm just going to put one more layer on just to check. I would say it is buildable slightly. It certainly doesn't sort of cake up if you put an extra layer on, which is important. And then I'm just going to get the edges of the concealer with my foundation brush and quickly set it. So yeah, I would say that you do need to, I mean you probably do with a lot of concealers, but I would say that you do need to set this one pretty quick. I do have the odd concealer that I could get away with potentially not setting. This is not one of them. It's very creamy and very hydrating, which I like because it's not drying, but you do need to set it pretty pronto. So this is my final makeup look with my Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. Yep, I would say it is anti-fatigue effect, radiant glow. I would say all of those things. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy how it looks overall. I'm happy with the coverage. I'm happy with the colour, the consistency. It doesn't feel drying. It's not settled into any fine lines or wrinkles. I'll look down for you so you can see. Hasn't settled into anywhere with powder setting it. I feel like it's done a good job at covering blue and purpley tones just here. So yeah, overall, I'm feeling a good score for this one. It is one of my favourites, but I'll check in with you at the end of the day. I will try and check in midday as well, in the middle of the day, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. But if not, I'll see you near the end of the day to see how it fares up. So I've had this Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer on now all day. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to come midday. I was too busy. And I am glad I'm filming this now because I can't wait to take my makeup off and get into bed. I'm so tired. I know the sun's really bright, but it's actually not too early and I'm really tired, so I thought I'd come and quickly show you. I'm really impressed with how this has held up. I've had it on for a good number of hours. It has started to break down around here where the foundation meets the concealer, and I usually have dry skin, dry normal skin, and I've got a bit of a hormone situation at the minute, so I am a bit oily through the centre of my face, and I'm really impressed that it's not been affected by that. It hasn't gone scaly or looked sort of drying or settled into any fine lines and wrinkles. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, and ideally I would like a bit of more of a coverage with it, but just a little bit. And for the price, I mean, it's really fantastic. I think I paid around sort of £4 or £5 for it. You can get it in special offers and whatnot. I think it was around a £5 or so. It's really good. I think I'm gonna have to give this concealer a 7 out of 10. So it's done pretty well, I think. I wasn't impressed with it at all the first time I used it. My first impressions were not fab, but then on reflection, and when I think about it compared to other drugstore concealers that are even more expensive than this one, it's getting a thumbs up, so I'm liking this one. I hope this video was useful, and next up I think we've got the Maybelline's Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles, with a really long name. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!